FSO 305, Meet 10 Interview, the guest perspective. The topic, experiencing diversity and inclusion in the workplace. Hello everyone, and welcome to my talk show. Today's conversation is about diversity and inclusion in the workplace, what it really looks like from a personal perspective. The goal of this interview is to listen, understand and learn from real experiences. Inclusion starts with listening carefully and asking thoughtful questions that allow people to share openly. Well, I am joined here today by someone who will share their workplace experiences. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. My name is Peace. I'm a customer sales representative.
Good. To start us off, Ms. Peace, can you tell us a little about yourself and your current or past workplace?
Yes, I currently work in customer service within the retail industry. I've been in this field for about 5 years. In my role, I interact with people from many different backgrounds every day, which has really shaped my understanding of workplace culture and inclusion.
Great. Now let us pause meaning of diversity and inclusion. When you hear the words diversity and inclusion, what do they personally mean to you?
To me, diversity means having people from different backgrounds, cultures, identities, and perspectives represented in the workplace. Inclusion goes a step further. It means those people are actually respected, heard, and given equal opportunities to contribute. A workplace can be diverse on paper, but without inclusion, people may still feel left out.
I was very well thought out. Can you describe a time at work when you truly felt included and valued? What made that moment stand out?
I remember during a team project, my manager specifically asked for my input during a planning meeting. I was relatively new at the time, so that recognition meant a lot. My suggestions were taken seriously and even implemented. What made it stand out was that I felt my voice mattered, not just my position.
Have you ever experienced a situation where you felt excluded or overlooked in the workplace? What happened and how did it affect you?
There was a time earlier in my career when important information was often shared informally among small groups, and I wasn't always included in those conversations. It wasn't necessarily intentional, but it made me feel disconnected from the team. It affected my confidence at first, and it showed me how small communication gaps impact inclusion.
Excellent. Thank you. In your opinion, what are some subtle ways workplaces may unintentionally make people feel unwelcome?
I think some subtle ways include interrupting people during meetings, mispronouncing names repeatedly without trying to correct it, or consistently overlooking quieter employees. Also, scheduling social events that not everyone can comfortably attend can unintentionally exclude some team members. These actions may seem small, but over time they can make people feel like they don't fully belong.
Great. We are all aware here in this forum that leadership influence also affect diversity and inclusion in a way. How do leadership and management influence whether a workplace feels inclusive or not?
I think leadership sets the tone for the entire workplace culture. When managers actively listen, encourage different viewpoints, and address concerns fairly, employees feel safer and more respected. On the other hand, if leadership ignores inclusion issues or plays favorites, that behavior quickly spreads through the organization.
Wow. Have you noticed any changes in how workplaces approach diversity and inclusion over the years? What has improved and what still needs work?
Yes, I've definitely seen more awareness and open conversations about diversity and inclusion compared to a few years ago. Many companies now provide training and create formal policies. However, I think what still needs work is consistency. Sometimes the policies exist, but the day-to-day behavior hasn't fully caught up yet.
Great. Let's look at co-worker role in the whole of this concept, diversity and inclusion. What role do co-workers play in creating an inclusive environment on a day-to-day basis?
Coworkers play a huge role because inclusion happens in everyday interactions. Simple actions like inviting someone into conversations, respecting different opinions, and supporting teammates can make a big difference. Inclusion isn't only leadership responsibility, it's something everyone contributes to.
Wow. Now let's look at one immediate improvement that can occur. What is one thing organizations could realistically do tomorrow to make employees feel more respected and included?
One realistic step would be for managers to regularly check in with employees one-on-one and genuinely ask for their feedback. Creating safe spaces for open dialogue can quickly improve trust and help employees feel heard and valued.
In your experience, like you just gave, you spent 5 years in this role.
Yes.
Now, can we hear one of your advice? Let me ask you this quickly. If you could give one piece of advice to employers or future employees about building inclusive workplaces, what would it be?
My advice would be to practice active listening. Inclusion starts when people feel truly heard and respected. Policies and training are important, but everyday human interaction, listening, acknowledging, and valuing others is what really builds inclusive workplace.
Ms. Peace, I want us to wrap up with this identity impact. And I have this question for you. How has your personal background or identity shaped the way you experience the workplace?
My background has made me more aware of how important representation and respect are in professional spaces. It has also made me feel more intentional and making others feel included, because I understand how meaningful that can be for someone's confidence and sense of belonging.
Wow, that was a very good and inspiring, knowledgeable, insightful interview.
Thank you.
And I know you have given us your best. I'm very happy to have you in this show.
Thank you for
And
having
thank
me.
you for all you have said, educating the public about diversity and inclusion, a particular concept that is very much functional in our day-to-day activity in this society. Thank you. It's a pleasure having you here.
Thank you so much for having me.